welcome back to another episode of Truck Camper Overhaul. Last episode we got these floor supports in, switched them from 2x2s to 2x4s. Now what I'm doing, I've already done here, drilling pocket holes to help connect them to this so that when I put the plywood down it's just a nice strong connection. This is my pocket hole jig I picked up from Home Depot for 20 bucks. It comes with the drill bit, the little shank, or the depth limiter, I guess you could call it. Then picked up a couple of pocket hole screws, a box of them. They're 7s by 1 inch. They say, or no, 7s by 2 inch, sorry. They say you want to use, for this thickness of material, 2.5 inch, but they didn't have the like zinc plated stuff in. They only had the blue painted stuff, which is good, but it was $5 instead of $3. So I just picked up these that are 2 inch instead of 2.5. They have the little square head on them. And they don't come with a bit, but I found one in my toolkit. It's an S2. So, just for your information. So to drill the pocket holes, what I've been doing, in a perfect world, you would do this before you put these 2x4s in. But I didn't really think about that. So what I've found works is you go about half the width of your wood. You go about that far back. You put the jig there. You put the jig right there. Then it will make it go right through the middle of this piece, which means this is probably at a 45, 30 degree angle. It's not 45, it's probably about 30, but it goes through about right. So I have this set about 3/4 of an inch from this piece right here. Don't mind my little mess up. What I do here, since I didn't do it before, I have to kind of squeeze the C-clamp in there, clamp it down, and then drill my hole. And then with this limiter, what you want to do is get it so that it doesn't quite poke through the other end. So the drill bit ends probably right about here in the wood, and then the screws will self-drilling, and they go the rest of the way for you. So let me set this up, show you what my setup looks like, and drill a pocket hole. Alright, so this will be hole 1 of 2. And it's going to probably be a little messed up because my second piece didn't want to go with it. But that's okay, I'll just drill itself through it, and then, well, it should work as long as it doesn't split the wood. If so, well, it's just a spacer, so I'm not too worried about it. So this should be all set up. So the drill bit, go about like this. As you'll see, it came out right there because my spacer piece didn't rise up with it. But that's okay, we can work with that. So now, you'll just screw your pocket hole screw all the way in. I had to do it by hand because I don't have anything that can, I don't have an extension for my drill. So it's not too bad. And then I'm doing 2 holes, so I'll just drill a second hole, then I'll screw those pieces in. Alright, so now that I got those pocket holes drilled, I am now going to get my 1.5 inch insulation, cut it to size, stick it in here, in these 2 holes, because still these outsides aren't quite finished or ready yet. So we're going to get those 2 pieces cut and set in, and then put our plywood on top so I have a working area here and I can start tearing out all that piece of bottom wood and getting these screws and or staples end nipped. So that'll be what's up next. Alright, here we go with 2 pieces of insulation in. To get these in, I scored them just basically with a like a box knife blade. So I cut those. They were pre-scored at 16 inches, but I'm a little over 18 on both of these, so I had to cut an extra piece. This one I didn't quite do right, and it snapped a couple times, but it's alright, it still fits. This one I got all the way, stuffed them down in. So now it should be good to go for, now this dirt off. should be good to go for the plywood that's going to go on top. And so I got to cut that. And yeah, it'll be good, I'm hoping. So I'm going to start measuring that. It's about 4 feet wide, about 44 inches long, or however you want to do that, 44 inches this way. So I'm going to do that and get that screwed down into these 2x4s and that 2x8, and then we'll be moving. All right, here it is. Got that little bit of plywood in, so now I can sit up here. I feel like I'm going to fall through. Not perfect, but it's not bad either. I like it. So now I can start end nipping stuff and trying to tear other stuff out. So that'll be what I do next. Alright, so before I can progress too much further, I have to take care of this little thing here. What had happened is it had separated somehow from the camper, and then previous owners attempted to patch it by just using some simple silicone and multiple layers of it. So there's different types of silicone. There's the white, there's some clear stuff, there's a lot here. There's even the original stuff. So what I think I've found out by kind of hacking away at it with this carpet scraper, which actually works pretty well. If you can see, let's go over this side. There's a little gap between here and here. So this gap is where the piece of trim needs to fit in. I'll grab that trim. That trim needs to fit inside that gap. Kind of go up inside of it, and then you seal underneath. So it needs to happen. I guess the best way I can figure out to fix it is I got to take all this old caulk job and even the original caulking off, and then I have to re-staple into the wood I'm going to be putting in there, so that way it will stay. This should stay in, and then when I screw it in, this will stay up, and then that should keep it together enough. So yeah, that's what I get to start doing now. So I'm just gonna keep on tearing away at this, and we'll see how it goes. All right, just a quick update on what I've done. I have put the 2x4 in under here. Then I've taken a staple gun and stapled it in right here and all along here to hold this up. I'm gonna put this weather stripping back on there eventually, but that's for a later time. And that's where I've gotten to so far. You can see the 2x4 in there. I apologize for the sound, my car's running. So, got a little bit further.